Hi guys, sorry, gotta take the tablets before I start. Basically, I wanted to take my tablets, just like people to say hello, see what we have about. Just walking around at the moment. I try not to be late. Doesn't always work though, does it? I'm not talking to myself because I'm live. Just anyway, not yet, it's too short. No, it don't, it's way too short. You'll be bold if I take the air off. Yes. Hi, Sophie. No, I'm not talking to cat. I'll lie, I said. That's our Christmas. I'll try talking to cat. Look outside. Who do we have? Hello, Shaz, Elizabeth, myself, Sophie. Okay. I guess people will come when they come. Can you hear me okay, guys? I hope you can. Let me know if you can hear me all right. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so we're doing the A to Z, and the A to Z of magical beings. When I say magical creatures, magical beings, what I mean is they're elemental beings. That's what they are. They're all elemental beings. They are not. Some may be more physical than others because you can put something in place where you may say it may have come from like, how they say dragons may have actually come from serpents under the sea, for example. But as a rule, these are very much, hello, Shandy, these are all over the world. They are not just England. We're looking at it from a worldwide sort of perspective. So we're going to start with the A's. We won't get through them all, I guarantee you. We will not. There's around 5,000, if not more, to get through. Yes, she looks absolutely stunning. Absolutely. Her hair's beautiful. Oh my gosh, the cat's back, which drives the dogs insane. Oh well. So we'll definitely not get through them all. It'll be, I've got cat rubbing up against me. I've got dogs in background, and then I've got bloody birds as well. So yeah, that's where it'll be. Okay, let me put my notebook to one side in case I need to actually look at it. The cat's literally rubbing itself against my book, my legs, my arms, everywhere. I've fed her twice today, but she wants to come inside. So yes, I have a pussy crawling all over me. So the first one is the Abau Aku. Abau Aku. This is spelt A space BAO space A space QU. This strange creature originates on the Malaya Peninsular, described as having many tentacles and soft, smooth skin. That's a cat rubbing itself on everything that I have. I'm sorry. It waits for unwary pilgrims at the bottom of the tower, the victory of the Chateau Pilgrim area. When they come to climb the tower, each level represents a stage of a journey towards enlightenment. And as the pilgrim climbs up, the creature grows stronger, changing colour and shape, drawing the life force from the unexpected victim. Supposedly, the creature will only attack a sort of at the final steps when they're about to make it to enlightenment. This is when the Abawaku will attack, stopping them from reaching their final course of enlightenment. That is the Bawaku. Hello, Spitfire. Hello, Shrimp. So then we go on to the aardvark, and we're not talking about our aardvarks that you would see, not them. This is Aardvark. This is from African folklore. It is, it's a sort of ant bear, and it's much admired because of its diligent quest for food and its fearless response to soldier ants. So I think it was the Hausa magicians they would call them, make a charm from the heart and skin and forehead and nails of this aardvark. They're not quite the same as ours, though, guys. Which they would pound together with the root of a certain tree, and they would wrap it in a piece of skin, and they will wear it on their chest. Apparently, this would give the witch power. And it would also make them be able to walk through walls at night. Tanya, you talking to me? What did I do wrong? What have I missed? I'm trying to read this and I don't know what I've missed now. What have I missed? Hello, Flickr. What did I do? I'm only reading about aardvarks. Is that weird? What? Okay then. Um. So then we are on to the atne, and it can be pronounced atne, atne. Oh, fair enough, Tan. Freaking hell, I was thinking, God, she's got a real thing against aardvarks here. I thought you were against aardvarks. So we have this is at the, it can be called the at the and the artex. Artex, okay? Now, this is actually from Basque mythology of Spain, and it comes in the form of the spirit of a bull. It will haunt caves and gorges and some of the mountains as well. It will come forth at night, not through the daytime. It does prefer the stormy weather as well. It prefers to be out in storms and it does in nice weather and at night. The younger form of this is actually called the Atverengure, but it is just different in colour. It is like a reddish colour, but some see it as a red steer when it's younger. Doesn't say that it does any harm to anyone or anything like that. Hello, Leah, hello. But it does state that it does only come out at night. It does appear in adult form as a spirit bull. In younger form, it is a red steer usually. We're on to the next one now, guys. Not bad, Leah, not bad. Had blood test done today to find out whether I'm either diabetic and need insulin injections, or it's my kidneys that are failing sooner than we thought, and I'm going to need kidney dialysis. It will be one or the other, and I will know in 2 days. So we are now on the Ababil. Ababil. This is a race of enormous birds described in the Quran as dropping red clay bricks on an army of elephants sent by the king of Yemen to attack the city of Mecca in the year 371 or 871. There's two dates here, and I don't know why. This is when the Prophet Muhammad was born, so maybe someone can shed some light on that date, why it's like that. And that's the Abba Bill. I hope everybody's well in chat anyway. Then we have the, and now I like this one, the Abada. Abada. It's a small unicorn and it lives in the lands of the African Congo. The Abada is very, very rarely seen because it's one of the most shy elementals that you could ever meet. But it is a tiny, tiny unicorn, which I think is rather cool. Don't you guys? Then yes, very pretty hair, I do agree. Now, bear in mind, these are all elementals, so people won't necessarily see them in proper animal form anyway. They could be in ethereal form, you know. I am going to bear with the guys. I want to get my notes. Otherwise, I'll get lost. Because I can't concentrate. I've got a cat literally climbing all on me here. Do you know that? I don't like not being left alone. I've got a cat clinging to me. So I'm gonna have to come in out of way, even though I wanted to do it outside. But no, not gonna happen, guys. 2 minutes. I'm gonna come in, get settled, so the cat doesn't drag me everywhere. 570 the year that, yeah. Well, there's two dates on that, and I'm not sure why. There's also 3 something in that date. I don't know what that means. It's something I would to look into, but ideally, Sophie, what I'm trying to do is just do a basic rundown on so many, and then maybe when I decide to look into them more, we can elaborate a bit more, because some of these, even I don't know enough about them. I'm still learning about some of these, especially in different cultures, you know. When they come from different cultures, I find that we don't generally learn about them because, obviously, we don't work with them that much. We don't tend to bring them up, do we? We tend to bring up our folklore and everything that we sort of deal with, but we don't tend to bother looking into other cultures, which is a shame because I think by not doing that, we miss out on so much, you know? I still need to do my bloody DNA. Oh my god. Dogs have just knocked everything flying. Oh, you gotta love your life, the animal. Dogs, can you stop jumping on me? I've been outside. Hold on 2 seconds. Seriously. Anybody think I've been gone years? Yes. Check that, Daisy. Stop it. Don't be too excited. Silly. Right, bear with me, guys. Anybody think I've been gone for years? I've just knocked everything everywhere. Oh my god. Oh, don't squash me, dogs. They're squashing me now. Don't squash me. No. Oh dear. Oh, I swear. It's not easy sometimes. Not when you're on your Todd, anyway, it's not. Right, so I wonder why it's got 2 dates on them, so I'll have to look into that, won't I? Then we have, and this one's, again, it's very similar to the others. This is the Abaya, the Abaya. This is the mythology of Malaysia. It's a gigantic eel-like monster that lives at the bottom of a lake. It considers all of the fish in the lake its children and protects them furiously. anyone foolish enough to try and sort of take any of those children, they are immediately overwhelmed by a tidal wave caused by the Abai swishing its enormous tail, which reminds me of the old Viking type legend and the Viking sea monsters. But technically, it's just protecting its babies, you know? It's just protecting its babies. Yeah, I know, Tan, mine's come, but it's not, I haven't done it yet, I need to, but I haven't had the chance. So then let's see what we got next. We have the Abath. This is accounts of sort of an animal brought back in the 16th century. European travellers to Peninsuela in Malay described it was sort of a female with a single horn growing from its forehead. These were probably the result of half-glimpsed German and Sumerian rhinoceroses. You know the horned rhinoceroses that kind of remind you of unicorns? Well, they think maybe that's what they saw, and they called it an abath, and they believed it was a unicorn. And they would take the powder from the horn, and it was served as an aphrodisiac to help couples have more sexy time, but also as an antidote, can't even speak, an antidote to poison as well. But like I say, this is just one of the ideas of the myths of the one-horned creature, the unicorn. Well, it is actually the one-horned rhinoceros that's very real, a very real animal that they do sort of take the horn and use it. As we know, there are poachers out there that will do that, which is quite cruel. So here we have the abattoir, a race of tiny fairies who share the dwelling of the ants in parts of South Africa. They only occasionally reveal themselves, usually to children, wizards, witches, or pregnant women. To see one in the 7th month of pregnancy ensures that the mother will give birth to a very healthy boy. And that is the abattoir. Abattoir. Yeah, if you say so. If you say so. Mods, sort it out, get rid of it. Because we know who it is. Let me get IP address up. 2 minutes. Take me 2 minutes to get this IP address up. Police gave me this for a reason. Ready? And I'll tell you. In fact, I'll message you who it is. No, leave him. I'm getting IP address done. He's tracking. Block him. I've got it. I know who it is. Block. I've got screenshots. I've got everything. Please block that person. Because it's going straight to police. For slander and defamation of character. I know who it is, guys. Block it. I want it blocked so I can tell you. Thank you, darling. I'll message you and tell you who it is. It's gone straight to police. I've got a tracker on my phone for this reason, because they're watching everything. I'll message you and tell you who it is when I've done this, all right. Then we have the Abgal. This is kind of like an early merman. The Abgal is mentioned in the Sumerian mythology. No, there is no need for that. I'm sick of it. But you see, this is why police are helping me. They don't realise that police are watching everything. They have everything. And I've got that IP address and I know it's linked back to someone. And I don't know who that person is. The idiots. Absolute idiots. I swear to God, I love it. It's awesome. It's in Sumerian mythology. and it's one of the number of spirits that originally are servants of the. Now, this god is pronounced very odd. The god of wisdom, like the centaurs of Greek mythology. Do you know we have the centaurs of Greek mythology? That's the best way I can describe it to you. That helped civilize humanity. This is what this is. It's a merman, but it's a special merman that apparently is in Sumerian mythology. And it's kind of like it helped. No, I don't think they have, love. They've got nothing better to do. Ah, it does, Sophie. That's very interesting. These were to teach the arts and sciences to the Sumerian people. They did this during the day, and they would fast. They would only stop to eat at night. There's early carved reliefs to show men above the waist and fish below. So that's where like mermen sort of, there's one of the origins of mermen, so to speak. It's from them. Hello, Elizabeth. No, this person definitely ain't got anything better to do, trust me. Because they ain't got a life. I know who you are, you silly bastard. I've just sent your fucking information straight to the police, you silly twat. Oh, I love it. I think it's amazing. You stupid people. Abominable snowman. As we all know, the abominable snowman is just a yeti which lives in the Himalayan area. The Akalika. The Akalika. These are weather fairies from Bolivia, and they have special influences over rain, hail, and frost. They live underground in caves and are rarely seen. When they do appear, they usually take the form of small, wise men. And these are part of the Fae, and they are the Akalika. Akalika, and they're cute names, Bolivia, that one. The Akamas. This is one of the Cyclops in the Greek mythology, and if you've looked at the Cyclops of the Greek mythology, then you'll know that there's quite a lot. So yeah. Then we have the Akephali. This is Greek mythology. The Akephali were human beings whose features were situated in their chests. They had no heads at all. According to accounts, they sort of had their eyes and things in their stomach. They were similar to the Blemayas, which we'll get into when we get into B, but they had no head whatsoever, and they had their eyes and their nose and their mouth in their stomachs. So they were kind of like, you've got to sort of imagine a person that has no head or really shoulders, but it starts from the stomach and goes down. So there's no head whatsoever. No, it kind of starts from the top of the stomach and goes down. Their eyes, their nose, and their mouth is actually in the stomach. So yeah, it's very, very bizarre. Dougal, give up messing with that, please. Hey, can you stop? You don't have to roll it right room, do you? No, silly bugger. Hello, Shelley. Hello, Shelley. I did have it up earlier. It's been up a while actually to said that I was going live. That's why we ended up with that silly twat coming in, not realizing that I can track their IP address straight away. Then we have now this is the Achelous. Achelous. In Greek mythology, the Achelous is a river god who took three different shapes, whichever he chose. He could sort of do the form of the bull, a speckled serpent, or a bull-headed man like the Minotaur. He wrestled with Hercules for the hand of Gennaro, and, while in the latter form, which would be the Minotaur, lost a horn. The blood that fell to the ground from the horn became the sirens, while the horn itself was discovered by naiads, who took and filled it with fruit, actually. They filled it with fruit, flowers and fruit. Classical myth tells us that the Archelaus horn was then presented to Plenty, which is Amathea, who made it a cornucopia, the horn of plenty. That's where the cornucopia comes from, guys. If we all know what the cornucopia is, well, that's where it comes from, that story right there. Then we have the Acha. No, this is Achayala Bopa. Achayala Bopa. We like it. I like that one. Achayala Bopa. Hello, Ted. Fucking hell, that's all right saying, isn't it? Achayala Bopa. Wow. This is among the Pueblo people of North America. Stories are told of a fabulous animal, a bird with rainbow-colored wings and feathers like knives. It is a celestial creature and may at one time have even been considered responsible for the whole creation of the entire world. Excuse me, while I sort the dog out. It does this every time I go live. It wants to mess with stuff. It drives me insane. They wait. They wait until I go live. And then they start literally knocking stuff around the house, knocking things off tables, jumping up and down. But any other time, if I'm just sat doing paperwork, they literally just sat there with me. Do you know that? If I'm sat doing paperwork, they just sit on the sofa, right, and stay completely still. But the minute that I go live, that is it. They go nuts. But they get so much attention though, Shandy. You have no idea how much attention my doggies get. They're my guard dogs, they protect me. So then we move on to the Achlis. The Achlis is one of the number of the strange European beast listed by the Roman writer Pliny the Elder, 1st century BC. He described it to be looking something like an elk, but it had a number of curious features. Its upper lip was so large that it had to graze backwards to avoid its lips falling forward and covering its mouth. Okay, then. So we're looking at some sort of like creature here that has to eat with it moving its lips backwards. So it has to move its lips backwards to eat because its lips are so big, its lips would fall forward and cover its mouth so then it wouldn't be able to eat. How bizarre. The problem was caused by the fact that its back legs had no joints. It was thus forced to sleep standing up, leaning against a tree. This enabled wily hunters to catch it by partially cutting through the tree to which the Achlis came at night. When it leaned against the tree obviously fell to the ground, and the Achlis could not get to its feet quickly enough to prevent itself being caught by the hunters. So apparently they did catch some of these. Pan's Labyrinth. Well, the actual labyrinth is more common for knowing that the labyrinth itself, that's what the Fae tend to look like. If anybody's seen the labyrinth with David Bowie in, that is what the real Fae look more like that than what you will see in books and such. Dogo, stop. Sorry, guys. Dog again. So then we have now this can be pronounced two ways. It depends on the culture. We have this could be the Asimpensa or Akipensa. Asipensa, Akipensa. Just depends really where you're from. Yes, it's a fantastic film, Leah, but it's one of my favourites too, babes. It's one of my favourites, honestly. But I know for a fact that the Fae. Sorry, Shandy, I just say babes in general. I can't help it sometimes. One of y'all lot got me into that. That one of y'all lot. I can't remember which one it were, but it was one of y'all lot. So in the 16th and 17th century, explorers sailing the northern seas gave this name to a giant fish whose scales were on backwards. opening towards the front instead of the rear. This caused it to swim so much more slowly than any other fish. Yet it was so vast that no one seems to have attempted to capture one. Stories of this kind are almost seen sort of in the arise of the sightings of whales, or in this case, possibly giant sturgeon, the fish from which caviar is extracted. Mmm. Big film. No, 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 no. Um, the Labyrinth has got David Bowie in it, and the Fae do look like that. They're not prissy or shiny or they can appear like that, but once you get close enough, trust me, I've been bit by them. I can tell you that they are not the prissy things that you think they are. I quite like caviar. I think it's quite nice. But I think it is an acquired taste, isn't it? Eating caviar is a very, very, very acquired taste. The next one is the Actaeon. Actaeon. In Greek mythology, the Actaeon is one of the 8 horses of the sun. Actaeon is described as pure white in colour with flaring nostrils, from which comes flame and smoke. The name Actaeon means effulgence, clearly referring to the powerful heat and light of the sun. At night, the horses browse. It says browsed, but what it actually means is grazed on magical herbs on the island of the blessed. By day, the nymphs of time, the Horai, harness them to the chariot of the sun, which was driven by the god Helios. And we know what nymphs are, we know what Helios is. So that's all to do with the chariot. Vegans are not going to try. The Axon, one of the 4-winged horses of the sun. This is in Roman mythology, though. The poets Ovid or Ovid, depends how you pronounce your Latin, etc. This was 43 BC, AD 17. List the Athon or Axon together with Eos, Phelem, and Pyrrhus. These 4 were harnessed daily to the chariot of the sun and driven across the heavens by the charioteer, which was obviously, it wasn't, remember, Greek is different to Roman, and it was, what it, Paphion? I think it was, wasn't it? Paphion, that did it for the Romans, and then it was Helios who did it for the Greek. And then we go on to the Adalechwen. This is Celtic tradition. The Adalechwen were giant birds, similar to the griffin. They were named sort of this from their mythology. They were a type of fairy. The idea was that a warrior named Drurwas Aptifian by his fairy wife had something to do with this, because the name derives from the Welsh word. Oh God, do I have to say that? Dust, basically. Dust. Yeah. So these birds were said to understand human speech, and they would obey whatever command they were given. However, on one occasion, apparently, they did do battle with a hero called Arthur. He commanded them to kill the first man to enter this battle, and Arthur himself was delayed, and the birds immediately turned on the Rudwas, which were meant to be the person that created them, and they tore him to pieces. But later in the medieval Welsh poetry, the phrase Adalachwen come to describe hawks, falcons, and brave men. So it kind of changed over time. Oh, real mermaids are very evil. Real mermaids are very evil. In fact, you know what a real mermaid's mouth looks like? Which I know, Shelley. That's the first thing that I saw, and I thought, do I have to? Um, a real mermaid's mouth looks like an anglerfish. Has anybody seen an anglerfish that lives deep in the ocean? Well, that's what a real mermaid's mouth looks like, the anglerfish, like that. I mean, like really bad. It's not nice. Not nice at all. Lola, can you stop trying to hump everything? You're a female, you've been spaded. Do you feel me? So please stop. I'm serious. See what you want. She's arguing with me. Yeah, well, if you think of the anglerfish flicker, mermaids have sort of the mouth like that. Um, they do tend to have webbed hands, but their hands do have that human aspect to them as well. They're quite strange. The Adaro. This strange being appears in myths of the Solomon Islands in the Western Pacific Ocean. He's clearly related to the mermen, but unlike these familiar sea creatures, the Adaro has legs attached to which are fins. A larger fin, similar to that of a shark, sprouts from his head. He also has gills and a sharp horn where his nose should be. So instead of a nose, he's got gills and a sharp horn. The Adaro commands a huge army of flying fish, which savagely rend into pieces anyone foolish enough to invade his waters. The Solomon Islanders describe him as flying through the air, carried by his fish army, or riding on the back of a rainbow during storms at sea, something like the Tritons. Interesting. Some humans do look like that, yes. Yeah, she's at it again. Thing is, right now she's licking a flu. Lola, there's something wrong with that dog because she's been spaded. She's been done, and she's randy as she's just randy. But she is though, seriously. The Aditi. In Hindu tradition, the Aditi is the primordial entity from which all things come. She is shown in the form of a cow who nourishes every living thing. She gives her milk freely to all on the condition that humans behave. Yeah, all right. But they must behave to her as if they were her calves, like children to a mother. Can't see humans really going forward with that, like, but you never know. The injunction: do not injure Aditi, the cow, which is something that will have been said to the younger children, back in the day, like we have our sort of myths. Do not injure Aditi the cow. It's a warning to protect the whole of nature and earth itself in that particular Hindu tradition. You like flu, doggy love. Don't start, shrimp, honestly. I've heard quite enough of that. I brush my dog's teeth. They've got to be done, haven't they? You've got special doggy toothpaste for them. You've got special doggy toothpaste. You've got to brush your doggy's teeth. You've got to keep them clean. So then we have and I bet you've heard of this one, or some of you will have heard of this one. This is the Adlet. So these monstrous creatures feature in the mythology of the Inuit people of Labrador and the Hudson Bay area. They are part of a curious creation myth, and this is a real myth, by the way, because this is pretty. I like this one. It's one of my favorites. So, according to the myth, A human woman cohabited with a red dog. 5 of the children resulting from this union were dogs themselves. These were sent across the sea to Europe, where they founded the European races. 5 of the children were even more monstrous and turned upon the Inuit themselves, drinking their blood and rending them limb from limb among the neighbouring people of Baffin Island and Greenland. The same or similar creatures are known as the Erquidillet, and these are the man or wolf that were born from the Inuit. Our boxer peas at washing line. I've got 2 boxer dogs. I love boxer shrimp. Love them. The Inuit, yeah, I'm a boxer lover. The Inuit legend is somewhat of the dogman type legend, werewolf legend, but it's where the woman gives birth to them. And what happens is they are so hideous and turn upon their own people that they are sent off on a raft somewhere. And then it's said that they go out into the area and sort of breed, and that's where you get kind of like werewolves from or something like that anyway. So then we have the Earthana. The Earthana, according to the legends that surround the life and deeds of Alexander the Great, the Earthana were encountered on the northern plains of India when his army passed that way in the 4th century BC. They were described as having bony tooth-like tubes sort of things. That's what it looks like tubes sprouting from their heads, with which they attacked and wounded their enemies. They killed several of Alexander's soldiers who were unlucky enough to encounter them. Okay. I started it when I did. I started it when they were babies, so that they get used to it, don't they? Then we have the Italian boar, also known as the Caledonian boar. This mighty beast appears in classical Greek mythology as a means of inflicting divine justice. The goddess Artemis. I'm going to start singing the song then. Don't do it, Claire. Don't do it. Carry on, carry on. Artemis sent the boar as a punishment to the people of the Attalion region of Greece, who had failed to give her sufficient honour and sacrifice. After the boar had ravaged much of the country, the hero, Meleager, was given the task of hunting down and destroying the creature. Calling upon many of the greatest heroes in the classical world, Meleager led them on a long and savage hunt across the country. In the end, it was the huntress, Atalanta, who brought down the boar with an arrow, after which Meleager killed it with his spear. He then gave the prize of the carcass to Atalana, depends how you pronounce it. She could even be pronounced as Atalanta. But this caused a quarrel over the division of the spoils, and ensuring battle, Meleager himself was also then slain because she didn't want to share. She did not want to share. That sounds they're beautiful, aren't they, Shandy? That sounds a lot like a woman, that, doesn't it? We don't want to share. Neither did she. Neither did she. Some of these as well, by the way, of like some of them are not all nice, just so you know. Some of them are quite the opposite end, I suppose. The Afank. I think I finally found what she actually is. Are you listening? a water monster found specifically in Welsh folklore tradition, also known as the Adanc or the Bach. It preyed on unwary travellers. Early references dating back to the Middle Ages are vague about its shape and size, but later it came to be described as a giant beaver. The reason for this may be the same as the name Afanc. It comes from a local dialect word for beaver. On the River Conway in North Wales, there is a whirlpool known as Llyn Ifanc, and local stories tell of a capture of a monster which was bound by iron chains and dragged from its home to a lake, Llyn Ffynon. The creature is also associated with Lake Bala, where a version of Noah's flood story is told. A man named Dwafan suspected that the monster was going to cause a flood and built an ark to house all the animals he could find. The flood did indeed come, caused by the thrashing of the Afang Dwafan and his wife Dwafak. They were the only sole survivors, and they founded the British race. The story of the floods probably originated from this, or from the flash floods, which is famous later in the area, obviously. And as you know, there's many stories of the floods, but if you're looking at Noah's Ark story, that's kind of the Welsh version of Noah's Ark. It is a giant hairy beaver. It absolutely is. So there's like writings of the Llyn Bafog, the bearded lake, where apparently an echo of the unicorn story, the Afanc is captured after it is lulled to sleep by the singing of a virgin. It is then chained and dragged away to a deep lake where it still lies. And then there's another story which refers to the mythological creature where it's been captured and is dragged from one lake to the next. But apparently, in all these stories, regardless, it's still alive somewhere. This has also been said to end up becoming the Scottish Kelpie. At some point, it was changed and the stories were changed, etc., and it became the Scottish Kelpie. Huge. You know. Oh God. Yeah, do you know, that's the thing though, isn't it? It's not even a dirty name. Let's be honest, right? No offense, but Fanny itself is an actual name. Yeah. Many people back in the day were called Fanny, you know. That was the echo. As big as an umbrella. Honestly, back in the day, lots of people were called Fanny. Do you know that? Hey, that's a real name. That's a real name. I was gonna Beaver. Well, it is. It's a Welsh monster, and it's a big hairy beaver. Okay, that's all you need to know. Right, the Afrit or Afrit, a tribe of monstrous demons or jinns, which are not really demons, found in Muslim and Arabic folklore, described as gigantic in form, sometimes with cloven hoofs and horns. It may well be added details to the description of the devil in Christian mythology. Incredibly fierce and cruel, the Afrits stole unattended children and dragged them to their deaths. They were feared throughout the Muslim world. They were usually found in desert lands or deserted areas. So the desert lands or deserted areas. The people of Kenya spoke of them inhabiting muddy pools and shallow rivers from which they leapt out without warning. According to the biblical tradition, King Solomon once bound an Afrit or Afrit with magic and forced it to help him find Shamir. Lord Byron, who travelled widely in the Middle East, was so fascinated by the stories of the Afrit or Afrit that he included one in his poem. This was called the Gear, which I'm not sure why it was called that. The Gear. Go, and with ghouls and afrits, knave, till these in horror shrink away from spectre more accursed than they. That's the poem. Yeah, I thought it were a real name. I weren't 100% sure, but I was pretty sure that it came from somewhere that was really. So then we have the. This is going to be an hard one for me to pronounce. Agathodemon. Agathodemon. A winged serpent from classical Greek and Gnostic traditions. It's especially associated with bringing good luck. Offerings of wine were made to it to ensure that good harvest of the vines were going to come into play that harvest time. It's also been seen as a snake as well in some traditions. I think also they associate it with part of the zodiac, um, which was different back then though from what it is now, especially in the Greek and Gnostic sources. It was quite different, but it was associated with the zodiac at one point or another. What's the matter?
Can I get someone tomorrow?
Of course you can, yeah, I'll do it in the morning. Yeah. No problem, darling. Love you. Ginger Ninja. These are fairies as well. They're a type of fae. Aguane are female fairies living among the Austrian Alps in northern Italy. Um, it borders Slovenia, but they're actually shapeshifters. Their true form is that of a beautiful young woman with long hair, and they kind of either have goats or a horse's feet, so they will have that hooven sort of foot look. They are particularly known as guardians of rivers and mountains and streams. It's advisable to ask their permission before setting foot in any such water. If a man enters the water and stirs up the mud of the stream bed, the aguane may come forth and attack him. While they have been known to eat human beings who trespass in their waters, they are also known to be fond of children, whom they carry on their shoulders across the river. So they'll eat men, but they're okay with kids. That's all right, Cass. No problem whatsoever. I set it up earlier, actually. I did share it out, but I was saying, Cass, I hope it's diabetes. I hope it is diabetes and I need insulin because I really don't want to go on kidney dialysis this soon. I really don't want to start that. Then we have the Agunwa. Agunwa. Again, Solomon Islands. These are Malaysian. This is a creature of life. The greatest Figona was Agunwa, who created a maid child. But he was so helpless, Agunwa made a woman to make fire, cook, and weed the garden. Another Figona was the great cosmic serpent Atubawale, who features in the tradition of the San Cristobal Islanders of Malaysia. Yeah, that's the thing though, when it casts, it's I'm praying for that. I know it's insulin. My O2. No, do you know what, Cass? My O2 went right down the other day to I think it went right down to 82. And we in the space of like I think it took what about 20 minutes to sort of calm down and get, calm down and get it back up, you know. I wasn't coughing, Cass. I wasn't, that's the thing. I wasn't coughing or anything, Cass, and it went right down. I didn't feel chesty. I didn't feel like I was breathless. Like, the only thing I really got, Cass, was I got right tired and I felt sort of that real bad exhaustion where you feel like something's wrong, Cass, you know? Um, but I weren't chesty. I weren't grasping for air. It were none of that. But yet when I took my oxygen levels, yeah, well that's it, Cass. That's it, isn't it? But I just think it's so odd how that happened to me not long ago, and then you've just mentioned how your oxygen levels were so off, but you never got like you didn't feel. I was same. I'm being mystical. I was same, Cass. Scary, yeah, it's very scary. Yeah, that's right. But don't we usually, as a rule, though, don't we, Cass, when his oxygen levels are dropping generally, we do feel chesty, don't we? We do feel like we can't get a full breath. But what's scary is this last time it happened, just like you've just said, I did not feel out of breath. I thought my oxygen levels were normal. If it weren't for being having that little dizzy spurt, I wouldn't have checked it. Imagine that. Imagine that. Right, Cass, yeah. Isn't it bizarre? And that only happened to me, what, a couple of days ago? Only a couple of days ago that happened to me. So that is so bizarre. I tell you, I won't surprise me if we don't end up being related, because I don't even know where I come from. I'm not even joking, neither. But I have got my DNA kit, so I'm going to do it. It does, it does. But the thing is, right, Shelley, it's oh, shut up, mouthing at me. It's all right when you're breathless because you know you need to check it. It's all right when you're like you know that you're lacking oxygen and you know that you need to check your oxygen levels. This is scarier because you don't feel chesty, you don't feel out of breath, you don't like you wouldn't know, would you, Cass? You just wouldn't know. And how scary is that? I love you too. Definitely my soul sister from another mister. If could be same, who knows? No problem whatsoever, Leah. Enough now. I've had enough. I'm not doing anything. I'm not just because I'm not paying you attention. It's silly. You're with me all day. Right. The next one is the. Oh, I'm sick of getting messages. My phone's absolutely heaving. The ahi ahi. This is represented as either a dragon or a vast cosmic serpent. This is in Vedic myths of ancient India. The ahi was so huge that in some versions of the myth, it is described as drinking all the waters of the earth, after which it curled itself. Stop it. Stop it. Dougal's headbutting me. After which it curled itself round the peaks of the great mountain range. The god Indra. Oh, now there's two ways of pronouncing this, and I think it's from different parts. We have Idra or Indra. I pronounce it Indra. Found, she found it there and slain it, causing the waters to run free again. It is probable that this story reflects a period in winter when the waters are frozen, to be released again with the coming of spring. The Hahi is sometimes connected with Virtra, since both withheld water. They both actually they would steal women and eat them and cows, and also they endangered anyone who was pregnant or any animal that was pregnant as well. They were a danger to all of that too. A pork master. Don't give me them ideas, fucking hell. I'm trying to be serious for once, Cass. Then we have This is the Ayapaik. Ayapaik, a supreme deity of the Moshia people of southern coastal Peru. He takes the form of an ancient man with long pointed fangs and the whiskers of a cat. Very interesting. He's a feline god that was once worshipped in the north of the country. How nice. Apparently, is also sort of been known to mate with women, and the women have had somewhat of a lizard or dog-like being. Very interesting. It's all right, Cass. This is the Ai Tojan. Hai Tojan. This is a giant two-egged. Oh my God, two-egged, two-headed, two-headed eagle that perches on the top of mountains, and it sheds light over the world in the folklore of the Yakut people of Siberia. The Alatar, this is a creature that resembles a serpent or snake. This is found in Finnish folklore, known as the devil of the woods. This creature is said to suckle small snakes. These snakes can cause sickness in the person who sees them. In some area of Finland, especially along the edge of the Arctic tundra, the Atar, which is back there we talked about, is seen as being alongside it, but as a destructive female force that brings bad luck to all who encounter it. Some of these female forces sound very, very familiar. I'm sure we come from. I'm sure we do, honestly, guys. I'm sure all misfits came from something in this book. I swear to God. Give up! You're driving me nuts. Why do you keep licking your flow, dog? Just why? Oh, that noise goes through me. Then we have, this is the Acha Candida. The Acha Candida, Ayacha Candida as well. This is a water demon, but it is also some sort of a frit, which means a demon. This is Moroccan folklore. It lurks along the banks of the river Cebu, around the aqueduct of Marrakesh, and even in the grounds of Sultan's palace in the same city. She appears as a beautiful young woman who lures lonely men to their death. Once her victim is within reach, she transforms into a gigantic monster and drags her victim away to consume him beneath the ocean. How nice. The only way to escape is to find another human being or an inhabited dwelling, since the Candida is apparently able only to attack one person at a time. Taking two people to its dwelling or having another person come in your place means it may choose that person rather than you. Occasionally, she will relinquish her prey if bribed by a sufficiently generous gift, which would be 5 humans to your 1, probably, which I guess we will not be doing that. Oh God. You guys crack me up, I swear to God. You're hilarious, do you know that? I'm telling you, this is us. We come from this book, us. Do you know that? We come from this book. I do love you anyway. I love your warts and all. Oh my God. The Ida Wedu, the great rainbow serpent of Dahomey mythology. The Aida Hawadu carried the creator Mawu from place to place as she went about creating the earth. Whenever they stopped for the night, in the morning there were mountains. Piles of excrement left by, oh, that's bloody nice, isn't it? A right nice story, and then it goes on to piles of excrement left by that weather. When the creator was completed, Mao realized that there were too many large objects on the surface of the earth and that it was likely to break apart as a result. Basically, it shit that much, it left too much shit on the earth. If I'm going to put it bluntly, that's what we're saying, right? It was so big, it made a lot of shit, and the shit was too much. Right then. To prevent the serpent from being overcome by heat due to its size, Mawa placed the sea around him to cool its skin. However, if he gets too hot and shifts in place, he causes earthquakes. Apparently, lives on the diet of iron bars. That's interesting. But when these are exhausted, he will begin to swallow his own tail, at which point the world would be destroyed. Right, so it's a giant serpent that shits everywhere. And because it's giant, it shits massive and it leaves loads of stuff behind on Earth that turned into mountains and things, right? So basically, mountains and all that we walk on is this animal shit. I'm just going to put it how it's meant to be. Yeah. And it lives on iron bars. But when the iron bars are like, when there is no more, it's going to eat its own tail and world's going to end. Okay? Just so you know. It is. It's just another story, isn't it, Cass? It's the Viking. It's the Viking story, isn't it? Leviathan, isn't it? That's what it is. Leviathan to some, and it's called something else by the Vikings, I believe. It must drink iron brew. I reckon it does. I mean, it's gotta, isn't it? What else would you? What else would it? Think about it. I can't see what else it would drink. The Agamuksa, the mythology and folklore of the Koshan people of South Africa. They are man-eating ogres who inhabit the dunes of Kalahari Desert. Though human in appearance, they have eyes in the what? They have eyes in their instep or in the heels of their feet, so that they are constantly forced to stop and lift a foot in order to see where they are going. Despite the fact that they appear human, they are huge in stature, with gigantic hands and feet and enormous sharpened teeth. Whenever they catch human prey, they tear them in pieces and devour them. However, like most ogres, they are very stupid and easily tricked. One story tells how the trickster god, Jackal, was being persuaded by a troop of the Agamuksa. Jackal scattered tobacco dust in his wake. What did I tell you about tobacco, guys? Which irritated the eyes. Oh God, that made me jump. That made me jump. Which irritated the eyes of the pursuers and enabled his escape. Yeah, I know of an ogre. All monsters are human, I agree. That made me absolutely jump all right into that story then, guys, right? And dogs barked and I fucking shit myself. I've never jumped as much in my life. I swear to God. Oh, if you'd have seen me then, you'd have probably pissed yourself. You'd have been like, Claire's fucking citizen. At her own dog barking at that. Her own dog barking. Who does that, right? Claire does that because she's stupid. Did you, Shandy? Yeah. I think that's about the same that that's where I think in Allcast. I'm sure it's the same one, love. I'm sure it's the same one. Bear with me, guys. I'm just going to let my doggies out. I will be back in a minute. Mods, keep everybody in line while I go just let the dogs out. But I won't be long. I shall. I'll be back. I'm an idiot. Well, I don't know what to do while you keep on coming to sleep. Sorry, guys. I'm back. I'm just singing to my dogs and stuff. Heathen, 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 heathen. What doesn't sound like what? What? Your dog barking set mine off. What have I missed? Am I being naughty? No, let my dogs out. And I've just put some spicy chicken in oven, guys. Spicy chicken. Spicy chicken in the oven. And now I'm having a cigarette. It's Cass that's naughty. It's not Claire. Don't blame Claire. Cass is a bad influence. I swear. Honestly. I swear that's what it really is. I swear. It's all Cass. Daisy, can you stop? You're 8-year-old. What are you trying to do that for, you weirdo? Honestly. Yeah. Yeah, Daisy. All right then. If you say so. Sorry, Shandy. I was just being honest, like. The Haklut. Haklut is a gigantic killer whale mentioned in the folklore of the Inuit, especially those who live along the Bering Sea coastline of Alaska. While its home is in the sea, it takes on the form of a giant white wolf in order to prey on humans. Inuit who see large wolf tracks ending suddenly at the edge of an ice floe refer except Lucas said. My mum and dad came on earlier with Greg's. Oh, Greg's. Oh, I miss Greg so much. Sorry. Large wolf tracks ending suddenly at the edge of an ice floe refer to these tracks of the Aklut. The Akupara. This is in Hindu mythology. Akupara. This is the name of a giant cosmic tortoise that supports the entire Earth on its back. So we're all just on a giant tortoise ride, just so you know, guys. Apparently in Hindu mythology. Yeah. Then we have the Al. Al. This is a terrible fire-eyed demon from Armenian mythology. Originally a demon which carried diseases, the Al is now associated with ill luck in childbirth, which is ill luck, but my grandma writes it funny, so you'll have to excuse me. It is said to blind unborn children in the womb and cause miscarriages. It also steals 7-month-old children. As well as its fiery eyes, it has snake-like hair, fingernails of brass, iron teeth, and it carries a pair of iron scissors with which it cuts the umbilical cord of its chosen victim, inflicting poison on both mother and child. To shield themselves from its evil influence, pregnant women surrounded themselves with iron weapons and kept it at bay this way. The Al have a king who is chained in the hidden abyss from which he can be heard shrieking constantly. In Afghanistan, this creature is represented as a young woman with long teeth and nails, and her feet are reversed. Her feet face backwards. Oh yeah, there's some pretty hideous ones in here. Because by 7 months old, it is a by 7 months old, it's a fully formed baby. Therefore, the fetus has within it what this demon wants. Generally, anything younger and it'll cause poisoning or miscarriage and just obviously slaying the baby. But at 7 months, there's something about it hitting that age that it wants to devour it after that time more than. And what it means is 7 months in the womb, Sophie. So it doesn't mean a baby or 7 month old. It means generally 7 months as in 7 months in the womb, if you get what I mean. So not like 7 months in, 7 months old baby. But well, it is a baby, but you get what I mean when it's in the womb. Then we have the Alan, or some people just say Alan, but it's not, Alan. This is a species of bird-like humanoids with wings, long teeth, and hands and feet facing backwards. Let's just picture that a minute, guys. Bird-like humanoids with wings, long teeth, and long hands, and their feet face backwards. Yeah, 7 months gestation. Yeah, gestation. I can't pronounce that with gestation. There we go. Right. Yes. Isn't that funny, Shelley? Exactly. So these are the folklore of the Tinguin people of the Philippine Islands, and they inhabit the jungles. At night, they nest in trees, hanging upside down from the topmost branches like bats. They're also said to have homes beneath the ground and that are lined with gold. They're most often represented as helping spirits who give aid to the heroes of islands. However, at times they can be mischievous and malicious. It depends on the person. Alan, Steve. Yes, they can because I had my baby. Joshua was born. I was only 6.5 months, coming on to 7 months when Josh was born, so which is not that long really. So then we have the Albaster. I'm sure people have heard of the Albaster or the Albaster, gigantic creature from the folklore of the Cherkess people of eastern Russia. On the ground, it can take the shape of any animal, but it is most described as a giant white-skinned man with long flowing hair. It can also fly through the air, at which time it takes on the appearance of a shooting star, with a comet tail of light behind it. Its origin is said to be the the souls of baptized and illegitimate children. It punishes people who overindulge in sexual intercourse by providing them with such ferocious sexual appetites that they eventually die of exhaustion. It often mates with humans as well, and if betrayed, it may bite off the victim's lips. It is believed that a cold sore is a sign that one of these things have visited you in the night and had sex with you. The human lover of a woman who has lain with an Albaster will become ill. It can be defeated in two ways. First, by breaking the little finger on its left hand. Secondly, by placing crosses at doors and windows to prevent it from entering the house. Basically, it's a sex demon. What's your mum been doing, Shandy? It's all right. Could be cast this one. It is a sex demon. You know what I mean? Like, it literally kills its victims by, well, they have sex constantly and don't stop to drink or eat. So, yeah. How interesting is that one? Reminds me of a couple of other types, isn't it? We then go on to the Alecto. The Alecto is one of the Furies from Greek and Roman mythology. This hideous creature is shaped like a human with bat wings, but it has the head of a dog. Like her sisters, she was born from drops of blood that fell on the earth when the great Titan Uranus was castrated by his son Zeus. Her name means the unceasing, and she is said to be responsible for war, pestilence, and revenge. And she had a new whip too. Oh, yeah. She's definitely been up to something, hasn't she? You ought to ask her about this Albaster. Excuse me, what you been doing at night with this Albaster? No problem, Shelley. No problem whatsoever, sweetie. Ooh, yeah, that's what I think as well. Then we have the Alfa. In Scandinavian and Teutonic mythology, the Alfa are elves. They are divided into tribes. We have the Svartalfa, the dark elves, and the Lesva, the light elves. The Lesva are bringers of light and are extremely beautiful beings. They're tall, their skins are whiter than the sun. They live in the realm between the earth and heavens known as Elfim. The Svartalfa, on the other hand, live beneath the earth, and their skins are blacker than the night without stars. They are famous smiths and responsible for many fabulous weapons and magical armor. Despite their evil reputation, they are associated with fertility and had a strong following among the Norse peoples. Both races are said to have originated from maggots that ate the flesh of the cosmic giant Ymir. J.J.R. Tolkien drew heavily on their history in the creation of the elvish races, which play such an important part in The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. Da, da, da. If anybody has watched The Hobbit or read The Hobbit, yes, do check. Yeah, no problem, you see, but you're Ian. I call it a tinkle fairy. That's what I call it. The Alicanto. This is a folklore of Chile and it emerges at night, shedding a golden or silvery light from its great wings. The Alicanto is a strange bird-like monster which likes to eat gold and silver. And if it discovers a rich vein of ore, will continue to eat until it's too heavy to fly. Gold prospectors in the Chilean foothills are always on the lookout for the Alicanto in the hope that it will lead them to golden riches. The wily bird, however, leads them only to their deaths, flashing its wings enticingly until they fall into the bottomless ravine. The alicorn is an alternative name given for a European unicorn. Interesting. Very interesting. Indeed. What time? So I've nearly done 1.5 hours, so I'm probably going to leave it there on this for now because there's that many to get through anyway. We're only on A at the moment, and we are going from A to Z, but they are all very, very interesting creatures, I have to admit, and I love reading journals and sort of learning what's what, etc. I like learning what Nan thought about them and, you know, what realm they may have come from, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I think we all have very different beliefs anyway, so even if one person saw them being this and the other person saw them being that, I think it would absolutely depend, wouldn't it, on that person's culture and where they came from and, you know, like what they were told when they were growing up and such. But yeah, it's very interesting because, like I said, these are elemental beings, not the Fae. And I am doing the A to Z of Fae now. I've done fairies through time, but it's different. They're different to the elemental beings. But after that, and I mean, there's probably, I think there's more than 5,000, but that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming to do around that number or just below that number of each particular segment. So, you know, I've got these to go through, then fairies to go through, and then I have a whole other psychic area that I want to cover. So there's like so much to get through that I may find myself going live every night of the week to get through it all. I'm not sure. I will try anyway while I can. I know that me and Cass do want to do another live at some point, but I just haven't worked out what we're going to actually do yet. I'm not sure if we're going to do a quiz or if we're going to do more riddles. I'm not sure. Ideally, we want something fun, don't we? Something that's going to make people laugh, and definitely enjoy. Let loose, I suppose. But I've got that much that I want to get through that I do find myself wondering how I'm going to get it all out there, And I know that sounds daft because you're probably thinking, well, you don't have to get it all out there, Claire, but for some strange reason, and I cannot explain why. I wish I could, but I can't. For some strange reason, I had this feeling of needing to, and that is the best way for me to put it forward. It's a bizarre feeling. It's a feeling like I need to. Oh yeah, Sophie, definitely. I would love that. That'd be awesome. I'd love that. Anybody could join me on a live. Anybody is more than welcome. All they have to do is say, "Are you going live tonight?" If I say, "Yeah, do you want to come with me?" Yeah, fair enough. There you go. Job's a good one. It's kind of all it takes, really. I really don't mind anybody joining me. I don't at all. It's just how I am. You know. But yeah, that's I know what you mean, Cass. I know what you mean. And you all crafting stuff, and I don't know, for some strange reason with this, it's almost like I feel this urgency that there's some stuff that people need to know for when I'm gone. If that makes any logical sense. But I suppose that's how I've been brought up, isn't it? Like because my nan believed in it so much, I guess. And then but I got that belief from my nan. Now I feel like I have to share it because there's only me left. There's nobody else that's going to share it. So now I feel like it's a duty. I feel like I'm supposed to share the knowledge. Not that it's fact. I've never said it's fact. It's personal beliefs and it's difference of opinions, I suppose. Oh yes, Sophie, that'd be brilliant. I've got loads of ghost stories. You won't believe the amount of ghost stories that I have. Oh, yeah, well, I know what you mean, Cass. I absolutely know what you mean. I really, really do, because I'm stuck for like how I'm going to get it all out there. I don't know. Unless somebody's willing to sort of half the load along the way, we shall see what happens, because there's just that much. And I'm talking, I want to get into all the demons that I know about. I want to get into all the bad side of things that I know as well. And there's a lot that is bad and crazy. I want to be able to do a spell and go live and be able to show people, you know. Of course, Sophie, you're more than welcome, of course. It'd be brilliant. Um, no, that's right, Cass, but I don't mind that you don't believe. It's never bothered me that you don't believe at all. I just think that you're open-minded still, you know. I don't think you disbelieve, but you don't fully believe, because I think you need to see to believe. And unfortunately, I've seen since I was very young, haven't I? So I haven't really got a choice. It's just there now and it's happening. That's how it is, you know. But I still respect you for that. Absolutely respect you for that. I respect you more for that, to be fair, because if I'd not have seen, I'd be like you. I'd be like, well, yeah, but no, you know. That's what I'd be like too. I would expect you to be like that. I think that's important. But it doesn't mean that we don't care about each other just the same or love each other. We just have different beliefs. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Um, and I never argue with anybody over beliefs, because I think theirs will be different to mine. And I like to learn about the different beliefs. It's important. I think I'll turn my camera on in a minute, guys, if you want. I'm going to be honest with you. I have been for my bloods today, and I don't look great. You'll be all right, Sophie. And like I say, you don't need to have the camera on at all. You don't. Well, I was going to turn it on, but now I can't see it. Oh, it's there. If I turn it on, you might run, but I'm going to turn it on, okay? Hi, Mia. I just sat in this. Yeah, I just have had mine done today, like I said. Oh, but it didn't brutalise me though. Oh, I have my glasses on, yes, because when I'm reading, I definitely need to be able to read properly. And thank you, thank you, guys. When I'm reading, I definitely prefer my glasses. I have to say. I've got my eye test on Friday, guys. I'm excited about that because I have noticed, and this is really bizarre, but I've noticed that I don't know if it's doing my condition cast, that I can see better with my contact lenses in, yet my glasses are stronger. However, I find that I'm getting blurry vision and things, like myopia. That's why I'm thinking these tests are not going to come back that it's my kidneys. I think it's going to come back that more than likely it's diabetes. Yeah, blurry weepy eyes, that's it, Cass. Because if you think about it, right, I'm drinking a lot more water. I'm weeing a lot more. My urine's quite strong. I don't know with my glasses on, I know that, but thank you very much, Shandy. I appreciate that. And with the swelling on the legs, which I showed people swelling on my legs, closest friends I did, and then the fact that like there's that numb feeling, because when you get diabetes, when you get diabetes, you can actually lose toes and things, can't you, from that purple colouring and stuff. You get what I mean? So I honestly think when these tests come back, there is going to be diabetes. I do. At least I'm hoping, and it's not going to be the kidneys. Yeah, I thought so. Diabetes can cause a lot of things, can't it, Cass? And it does run in the family. So it may not be anything to do with the rest of the conditions that I have. It actually does run in the family too. So, hi, Nicole. I've nearly finished now. I'm ready for wrapping it up, actually, to be fair. Hello, Catherine. But yeah, I'm kind of hoping it's diabetes and not the kidneys. Now, don't get me wrong. I know I've got kidney issues because it comes as part of the Maritzi syndrome, but they've been able to keep them level. So that's why I kind of just want it to be the diabetes. I know I'll have to go on insulin, and I do not know how insulin works, guys. I'll be honest with you. I've never looked into it. I never thought that I would have anything like that. So it's not something I've ever bothered with. Yeah, well, that's it. This is the thing, isn't it? Nikki, who? Me, Nicole. There ain't no Nickies in here. Well, that's it. And I lost feelings. I've lost feeling. Do you know, in part of me, it's like where my knee is, my kneecap, just above, I'm starting to lose feeling in my actual thigh area. So this is why, I mean, they did tell me that my blood test was sent off at 11 o'clock and they will be done already. And they're going to try and get them back tomorrow because they're urgent. I do. Yeah, I do, Cass. I absolutely, because like I said, I never had any of this until my gallbladder burst. When my gallbladder, there's bits of my gallbladder that's still stuck to other areas of my internal organ. They do not know the damage. They ain't got a clue until they fully open me up, and they will not do that. It's way too risky. To have that tumor removed made a massive difference to me. It might not have seemed like much to other people, and it still don't mean I'm not terminal, but it gave me a bit more time. It gave me a bit more time, you know, um, which is what I wanted. It's not really, it weren't really Nicole, it was me. I just don't like that name for a good reason. Well, this is what I'm saying, Cass. I've not how can I put it? I've not looked into it properly, you know what I mean? So I'm sort of, they don't really give any straight answers because basically what they're saying is they can't tell me full extent of damage unless they open me up completely. But to open me up completely, because of the damage, they don't want to make things worse. They don't want anything to spread, and they don't want me catching an infection because my blood's already infected constantly. Um, that's why it's cleaned. So I'm at a loss, really. I'm constantly researching this thing, Cass, and I'll be honest with you, I I struggle to find any information on Maritzi syndrome stage 4. I struggle because there's just not enough out there. Well, that's it. That's what I'm saying, Cass. Think about it, right? They say that we don't need a gallbladder, but when you actually look into it, there's a really good doctor. That's exactly why I keep getting infections. Yeah. Yeah, it does have a lot. It does have a lot. Yeah, I know you Googled it, and like Sophie said, technically I shouldn't be here. Not with that syndrome being at level 4. I should not be here. Technically, I should already be gone, but I'm not. No, it's all right. It's just I don't like that name. Obviously, I think it is because there's a doctor in India that I'm following, right? And he is trying to push forward that the gallbladder is absolutely linked to your immune system and how your body fights infections and such. Now, when my gallbladder exploded, it exploded with such impact that it fractured two of my ribs. That's pretty bad. Um, and there's bits of it still stuck that they can't get in and get rid of. I mean, when it goes into your biliary ducts are so tiny and fragile and small. To reconstruct a biliary duct can kill you alone. And that's what I need. I need full biliary reconstruction. That alone, I'll probably not make it through that. Um, it's all right. It's all right. It's me. It's nobody else. It's me that don't like that name, Catherine. Nobody else I think had an issue. It was just me when I saw it. I'm like, ugh, ugh. Yeah, one of them. But that's it, Cass. Yeah, and it's I do think it's all gallbladder related. I do because ever since then I've gone downhill and downhill and downhill. You know, like I said, that Indian doctor, he's coming up with some very good information, and nobody's really listening to him. Yeah, my biliary duct to my liver is still blocked. It's got a 2 centimeter stone in it, Cass. Um, yeah, it does. It's horrendous. It's horrendous. And people think 2 centimeters not big. Well, actually, the biliary duct, believe it or not, is like what? Well, it's like a vein, isn't it? Yeah, exactly, Cass. Yeah, standard. It's very different. It's like a vein, isn't it, Cassie biliary duct? It's as tiny as a vein. It doesn't expand like veins, though. They don't have the same function as veins. So when a stone gets stuck in there at 2 centimeters or even 1 centimeter, it's not good. It's not good. But yeah, it's Maritz syndrome. Mirzzi. Maritz. And mine's stage 4. I don't even know what that means, Cass. Nobody's explained it to me. All they keep saying is it's complicated. We really can't do anything yet. We have to wait until you get to a certain point before we can actually do it, because even we do not know what we are going into. And you think, great. Yeah, it's tiny, isn't it? You think, well, if you can't tell me, well, exactly. Now that were bad enough, weren't it, Cass? Do you know what I'm saying? Mine's only what? 5 more, is it? Yeah, if mine's 2 centimeters. You know that cat, Cass, that's adopted me? She started tormenting dogs, Dogs can't get to her. Dogs can't get to her, and she knows it. She knows it, She thinks she rules roost already, that cat. I'm telling you. She walks up and down perimeter on the back, They can't get to her, and she knows what she's doing. And then she'll sit in front of barrier, right, where dogs can't get, and just start licking us and looking at him as though to say, nah, 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 nah. She knows what she's doing. She does. She proper knows what she's doing. She's a right little bugger. I couldn't even do my bloody stream outside. Yeah, this is it. But my gallstone started in the gallbladder as it should, but they just left it and left it. So what happened were my gallbladder exploded. And the stone then obviously was out of the gallbladder because I didn't have a gallbladder no more. And unfortunately it went into the biliary duct. So this is like going over even having a gallbladder now, because my gallbladder is destroyed. It exploded. There's just bits of crap left here and there that they keep giving me antibiotics and white plasma to flush it out, which is not working. It's cleaning my blood, but it's not getting rid of the crap. But then with the COVID on top of that as well, I ended up with COPD. Kind of sucks, but I can cope with that. But I've had a couple of cysts on my kidneys that have erupted, but I get a lot of cysts. Yep. I was screaming, Cass. I was absolutely screaming. I'd never felt anything like it, and it just didn't go away. I couldn't eat at the end of it, and I can't even explain that pain. I cannot even explain that pain. When it erupted, put it this way, that's when I basically died, and ambulance had to come and revive me. That when it erupted. I've never felt anything like it in my life. Oh, don't get emotional. It's all right. I'm still here now. I did the same. I went in, as you know, Cass, and they gave me oral morphine and sent me on my merry way, and told me that next day they'd have me in for an emergency scan, but they never did. And then 3 days later, I was dead on room floor right here. I was dead on this floor, and they were zapping me back. It's exactly what happened in front of Lee, in front of my kids, because they didn't keep me in and do it then. You do, yes, yeah. That's it, Cass. Yeah, that's it. You feel that's exactly it. You can feel it pressing on your rib cage, and it feels like you've got almost like a bowling ball pushing against your rib cage. That's exactly what it feels like. But when it actually, yeah, morphine. Thank you. That's all. Yeah, morphine on your way. Morphine on your way. And then I were dead. Yeah, and then I were dead, and they could have kept me in, operated, and I'd have been fine. Yeah, that's why I lost all weight where I lost, because the condition that came over time. And the thing is, it did actually come gradually, because at first I'd only get pain every so often. And then as time went on, it became more, and then that were it. It was there and it would not go away. But they did say with me, morphine on your way. When it burst, that's when see, this is the thing, I used to do it pushing against your ribs. I know that's completely right, because it were pushing against mine like a bowling ball, and then when it actually burst, it was the impact of the gallbladder bursting that fractured my ribs. So I know what you mean. I know that feeling, Cass. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's unreal. It's the most bizarre feeling in the world. Like, it's unreal. Were you, were your lungs playing up before this happened, Cass? Or was it only after that it happened? Or was it that it were already there before it happened, then this happened and they got worse? I'm curious. Yeah, you can feel it. You can absolutely feel it. Yeah, you can. But I'm curious if you had lung disease before or after. The spots on my lungs were after. The COPD was after all this happened. Like, other things are coming slowly but surely, do you know, like, because your body's giving up basically, until, let's be honest. There's no point beating around bush, Casses, and like making shit up. Yeah, yeah. But essentially, what's happening to our bodies now, essentially, internally, we are shutting down, but we are shutting down slowly. We're not like shutting down like other people. We're shutting down, our internal parts are shutting down slowly. This is why you'll find we'll get more health issues in our cast, like other different things will come along the way, if you know what I mean. Like, yeah, my COPD were afterwards. Funny that, isn't it? Very bizarre. Um, and that's what it is. Not that they'll sit you down and explain that to you. They'll get you. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're ticking time bombs. That's exactly what it is, and that's why all these different health issues come to light. Um, I don't mind being put that way, but right, Cass, thank you. Yes, I am exactly the same. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly how it's going with me. Spot on. There's always something new. There's always another new health condition. Yeah, that's it. That's how it goes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't know if they've warned you about this, but because your gallbladder's still there, right, well, that's what I'm going to get into now. Because your gallbladder's still there, mine is not. Mine exploded, remember? But because yours is still there, you have a higher chance, Cass, now of getting gallbladder cancer because it's been left there. They may have got rid of the stone, but if they've left have they left your gallbladder there? Because I don't know if they've told you this or not. If they've told me, because I ain't got my gallbladder, so they were all right to tell me that if you would have left it in, you'd have ended up with gallbladder cancer. Yeah, they removed it. Good. Yeah. Um. Unfortunately, we're also prone to bowel cancer as well. Yeah. Yep. Well, kind of that's what happened with me, but it split off in different areas, and they couldn't they couldn't get to it all. They couldn't get to it all. And basically, what they're saying is when they open me up, they don't know where they're going to find it or what it's going to be like, you know. So yeah, mine. So my don't look intelligent. um, they did on my nan's side, on my dad's side, all the women. That's why there's no left because they all died in the 40s to bowel cancer. But you're more prone to get that now. After having this, yeah, you're definitely. You see, we're more prone to it anyway because it's in the family. But I know you didn't say that, Elizabeth. I was trying to get you to. Yeah. See, I don't know. I've not been diagnosed with RA, I'll be honest. The lung disease, I'm not sure if it's because of the COVID or what at the moment. Still no answers to that. But you are definitely, literally, yeah, same as mine. It's pretty much same as mine, to be honest. Same as mine, Cass. But you're because you've had what I've had, that puts you at an even higher risk. Do you know that? Like you're at a really high risk. I know that sounds dreadful, but I don't know how else to explain it to you. Do you know what I mean? Like you're at a major, major high risk of absolutely getting some form of cancer. Um, I've had lymphoma on and off anyway since 2014, but I've always dealt with it. I do. I do. Me too. I've had that, Cass. Yeah, I am on 8 packets laxative a day just to be able to go to the loo properly because they damaged my bowels anyway. So, yep, because my bowels are damaged. At one point, Cass, I will show you my actual scoring. But what I'm going to tell you is, yeah, you see, I had it full on, but you can live with lymphoma anyway, the kind that I had. But the best way for me to put it right is to look at my scar. I'm just trying to sort something out, guys, while I've got you on. Sorry, I apologise. To look at my scar. What's it there? What's it there? Sorry, my plant's going to get it weird. It's a plant that I've got there. Yeah, I've had all those issues as well, but at the same time, I'm trying to take you somewhere, guys. I'm lost where I'm at yet. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. No, I lived with lymphoma. It didn't bother me. Yeah, yeah. But the scar basically, Cass. What happens is it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I've had pneumonia a few times, Cass, and that's not nice on its own, is it? Let's be honest. The scar, because they had to cut so much out of me, the skin only just fit back together. Do you know, when they put my bowels back in, Cass, it only just fits back in. Let's put it that way. It only just fitted back in. So you can't see the scar because it's in an area where I don't want it to be seen. But you can absolutely tell that they've struggled to get my insides back inside me. That's all I'm saying. Do you know, like, I don't know how else to put it. No, they can't. There's no going back on it, Cass. They'd have to get skin from somewhere, and I'd have to have extra skin. I'd need extra skin. I were only tiny, do you know, like the cat. It's not reversible. That they've crammed everything into my body, basically, and you can tell. Cassie can so tell that's what they've done. They've crammed. They've. Oh, I don't know how to explain it, Cass. I don't know how to explain it. I'll have to show you. Let me get some confidence up first about it, and I'll show you. But it don't fit. It's been crammed. Things have been crammed back into an area where there weren't enough skin to seal me up. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's why I sued them. That's why I sued them, Cass, because they sent me home to die. I begged them. I'm very embarrassed about mascara, I'd show you. It has, hasn't it? It has actually. Which is, like I say, I think everything happens for a reason. You know, I was just saying on Cass's video, windowsills are always like sparkly clean, and she's got all them cats, and I know somebody who's got one, and hers are disgusting. What we're sniffing at? Dogs that do a sniffing. No, can't smell out. Sorry, weirdo. Thought I'd get you to go. Just thinking. You never know. You're looking a raffle, eh? That's what my grandma used to say. I don't know what she meant. If I show you, do you probably stop to take pace? I know what you mean. But I know what you mean though, Kath. I know what you mean. But unfortunately, when it's not a legit person, is it, that's like needing the help and stuff, and you don't realise, and you get like sort of leached into it, it's different in it, you know. I understand, I really do. But I'll show you my scar. All right. Hang on then. I'll just turn the camera off 2 minutes till I sort myself out so I can show you, all right? I am still here. So you'll not be able to see small ones, I don't think, because I do have. I'm trying to get camera right. I do have little ones here, there, and everywhere, but it's hard getting them on camera. Like I have little ones like that where they've gone in, and they're practically all over those little ones. But then, if you look at this right, so look. That doesn't fit where it is. The scar goes further down, I'm afraid, as you can see. Yeah, same Cass. I've got 6 little ones. Yeah, yeah, it don't fit, does it? Let's be honest. Whew. Can't believe I just done that. That's the bravest thing I've done in ages. Well done, Claire. Whew. But it actually goes down into my flu. It goes down into my flu. But do you understand what I mean now, Cass? I love you too, Sophie. I love Cass. But that's how I'm trying to explain to you. Know, I like it. If you can see, it's sort of almost like in it that the proper lanced my skin off and like tucked everything back in, and it's not fit. If you get what I mean, do you know what I mean? Because that's meant to be my belly, and it's just not. That's not how it's meant to be. I'm not sure what they did, like, to do that, because looking at that, I need at least 3 centimeters more of skin. Do you know what? Like, seriously, that's how I see it. Looking at it, it's like, you know. Thank you, Cass. But don't you think it's like that, Cass? Do you think that they've like, I'm not gonna say butchered me, that's not what they haven't done that, but it's almost like it just they've overcut it and had to push everything back. It's still quite sore, but right, yeah, that's what I meant. Not butchered me, but I meant that. But you can sort of tell, can't you, that it's been sort of it's quite savage, but it was needed to be done. Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying. Did anybody hear a voice then? At all? Yeah, basically, yeah, cat. But I'm lucky. I do keep it covered. I'm not going to lie. I don't show it or have it on show. You know, I wear clothes that cover it up. And it goes further down than that. It goes way further down than that. And I have got the little ones like you've got as well. Oh, thanks, Sophie. I ain't that like I'm crazy, but you know, we all gotta be a bit crazy sometimes. But you see, the thing is as well, that's how I know, like, hello, like I've got this roadmap to my own world there. That's what it is. It's my own roadmap. You know, it is what it is, isn't it? Do you know? Do you know what I can do about it? It's not know about it. But that's like I'm glad I showed it because me and Cass are more or less like same. Isn't it? Yeah, it's enough. Call it mad sometimes. Absolutely. No, I know that. I know that. But no, me and Cass more or less have been through the same thing. And it's funny now because even after we've been through it, we're still going through the same thing because every day is a challenge. I think he is. He should be. I think he is. We'll find out at some point because it brings new issues all the time. And it's just so bizarre that that's cat tormenting them. The cat is tormenting them on a purpose. Oh no, it's not cat tormenting. Other dogs are out. Hey, enough. Lola, move it. Not listening to me. They're just stood back in. Idiots. You silly. Come on. You're not listening. It's not its neighbour next door. He's just stood staring at the dog, so we're just barking at him. No, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Oi! But I get what you mean. Neighbours tormenting the dog. I don't know, because I just get mouthed up. Lola, do go. Come on. He's basically got his dog barking at mine. Yeah, that's right, Cass. They are legit. They're absolutely, things do happen, and believe it or not, miracles actually happen as well. It's not just us. There are other people out there. They're just really hard to find. But it sounds to me, no, they don't. They don't at all. They're not exactly my neighbours because there's a piece of land and then their house, but still. It sounds to me like you had Maritza syndrome, like stage 2. That's where I'm like listening to it, even though they probably haven't fucking told you that, because I had to to be honest, Cass, I had to get my solicitors involved to find out what mine were called, I had to get my solicitors involved. That was only way that I got a name for it. Right, exactly. You should never judge a book by its cover ever. Ever. Is he an adult? Don't ask if you're an adult.
No, man, fine.
He's been talking since I was dog.
Oh, Eddie across there.
Yeah.
You don't say what
No. Yeah. Well, that's it, Cass. But I bet they never told you. Lee, you still thinking about putting Sophie in a tank?
I really want to know.
He's just coming through work. Oh, don't let them in, they're crazy. He's giggling about it though. Yeah, I expect solicitors to tell me, Cass, so it don't surprise me that they didn't tell you that's what it were, even if that's what it were. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Because to tell you that it's that, you would then research it and you would then know, Cass, that I mean, if you feed me cheese, I'm happy.
Cheese?
Yeah, cheese. Feed a cheese, she's happy. Yeah,
Depends on what cheese.
depends what cheese. Yeah, yeah, but imagine if they'd have told you that though, Cass, from the beginning, yeah? You'd have come back, let's be honest, you're a bit like me. You'd have probably looked it up and everything, right? So once you started researching it and realised how serious it were, you'd have started asking them questions back then, wouldn't you, Cass? Then you would have realised the only reason you had that is because of their negligence. That's why they didn't tell you.
Oh, wow.
What? I hate it when he does that. He'll go, "Ooh, wow," and then he'll just stay silent and not say out.
YouTube are updating all the terms and conditions of the service. I just got to
I read it all and I was quite pleased. Oh, I read it and I was quite pleased because I realised some people are going to lose their accounts.
So that's something possible.
I think they did. Yeah, they changed it. Yeah, did you read it? Did you read it? They did screw you big time because if that's what you had, Cass, the only way someone like that, like us, can get something like that because it doesn't happen until your end of life. You know, till you're old. That's good. You know, like when you get elderly and you're at your end of life cycle, that didn't usually happen till then. Because obviously, as you're passing away, things come out, right? Well, the only way something like this could happen at this young age is if you have a gallstone and it's left. Same, but I've already reported it. I know who's doing it, and I've already reported to YouTube exactly why they are doing it. And YouTube already are aware of the situation because actually they were quite good, Cass, you know. I gave them crime number and everything, and police and YouTube have been in touch for quite some time now. They're quite on point, I'll be honest. Quite on point with it. I'm really pleased with where things are going. They're going in the right direction. I know it don't feel like it at the minute, but you will see that they are. You'll see. They're really done because they've gone for a wee. It's gone for a tinkle. But yeah, if they'd have told you that back then, you'd have been able to sue them. I have, yeah. Yes, I do. I also have a few other things as well that Mr. PCJ's gave me. He's a very good officer. He works with me quite a lot. He gave me a couple of things that I didn't know about, and when I was showed, I was like, "Wow, really?" It's like, yeah. Yeah, I have. I've took it further. I've even wrote to 10 Downing. So
I nearly got that.
you didn't got fat? Oh, what? Why? Oh, Lee's been fighting with a security guard. Wow. They called him a white lanky streak of face. probably not a good idea.
Alright, I called him a gollywog.
No. Oh, wow.
Team leader were with me.
Well, I can imagine team leader were on your side, actually, to be fair.
He says I don't need to call him that, so he is. So it's right, you boy. Says, you can call
It's
him
racism on both sides. It's racism on both sides, that, yeah, of course it is. It is, yeah.
I pressed me. I want to put it up and just walk past you. That's
Oh, that, is she really? Oh, screenshots. Just screenshot the lot. It'll do me good. Yeah, exactly. Well, they've both been racist to each other, basically. But that's none of my business. That's Lee's, not mine.
what?
What you've just said on my channel has got nothing to do with me. It's your business. No, this just tracks them. Don't matter where they are, Elizabeth. Don't matter where they are because it's classed as being very dangerous now, with my health and everything. It just tracks them, so I know exactly where it is and I know their IP address. And half of them, it's, believe it or not, 90% of them are just same person. 90% of them are the same person using different accounts. Good idea, Sophie. Sent you. I know. Sent you. Lee's wanting to go live on his anyway at some point so I can explain a few things. Pursuit said. Lee, look.
Tell Emily I'm not even commenting.
You won't comment.
I was my
No, but we're now down to we're now down to Haley, how are you in the garden? And then we have Sophie, Lee, I have some requirements for my tank, please. So yeah, they are coming up slowly, love. Yep. It gives me the IP address and their home address, and all it does is link me to police, so I can pass it to police along with what they're saying. Just so it can all go in case files, that's all, for when I go to court. Even though it's taking ages, it's still happening, by the way. Of course it's the same person. They're not gonna, because they'll just get blocked up. I'll just IP them. Take me out is Lee Emily. Loads of blankets, Dairy Lee Dunkers and Netflix. Oh, you mingler. I'm not all of it. Get Lola, I'm not stalking you. God's sake, you're just attention greedy. Oh. Let's what? Let's see if she does it. This is what I have to deal with, guys.
Dog gets more attention than I do.
It's all lies. It's all lies because she scams everybody out of money. Yeah, well, that's it. We're kind of all right. We're kind of all right. Shares, we're not bad. We're not bad. We're getting there, lass. Slowly but surely, aye. In it. Yeah, Elizabeth, come and do it for him. Well, this is it. And the thing is, right, I'm not being funny, Cass, but it's like, are you that thick that you don't realise I know who you are? You know what I mean? You dumbasses. I'm smoking. You need to just stay away.
Crazy.
She does. She's terrible, Lola. She's a little low. She's an attention hoe. Why are you, man? I do. Right, Cass, I do. I find it an insult too. Oi, oi. Yeah, I find it quite an insult, actually, Cass. That's a fair fucking point. Never thought about it like that before. Lee's got pictures that he wants to share at cat fleas that she collected. I mean midges. That she no. Lee's got all sorts. Lee's got all sorts. I'm not even kidding you. He hasn't even started yet. And that's not to do with me. That's Lee being extremely fucking pissed off. And Lee'll tell you that. That's to do with Lee sick of hearing lies that's coming out of her mouth. Lee's had enough. He's had enough. He knows I'm too poorly and I can't be bothered, so.
Put it this way, it's a good job I'm not old. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Cass. Yeah. We're talking about someone who puts a flycatcher up for cat fleas and says the midges. Sophie, you'll not get fed crap like that. You'll get proper food. Your nana.
Yeah, really. It's not even real cheap.
It's not.
Like plastic.
Maybe not. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you can't afford to feed yourself, why are you stealing cats? Because you see, that cat belongs to someone else originally. I found out. Oh, you so can. You so can. Yeah, I can imagine you. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, Sophie. To be honest, it absolutely went over my head. Completely over my head. Basically, Cass, yeah. Basically, yeah. For it, isn't it? Not even the person's cat. It's somebody else's. It was somebody else's. She's just evil and took it off him when it could have gone to a better place. Oh, that's good. That's definitely better. Yeah, he's just angry with lies because he knows for a fact the lies has got proof that the lies. So yeah, I'm proud of you too, Sophie, for eating that. I think that's amazing. I'm proud of you too. I don't know. Not sure she forgets half the time, trust me. It's never an hour.
I've lost it with chat. I don't even know where.
It's alright, I'm signing off anyway. I'm not like that. I'm a lover, I'm not a fighter. I won't fight. Can't be asked with it anymore.
I never used to, but I'm starting to now.
I think you've had to, though, to be able to look after me now, because it was the way around before. And now I've become ill, it's like twisted back round again, hasn't it? That's what it is. I'm 38 next. I'm 38 years old in October. But that's the thing, innit? I like loving and laughing, yeah, definitely. That's the thing though, Elizabeth. I'm too busy fighting to survive that I can't be arsed with anybody else. Thank you, Emily. I look alright. I don't look bad. I could look worse. No comment. No comment, guys. Still a young age. 33. Still young. I'm 48 on paper. I like that. I like that. That's awesome. Air freshener went off, just shoot son. Like when I did earlier, when dogs barked and I literally pooed myself. So that you need in a tank, what did you mean, Lee?
Well, I got my foot.
So that you need in tank. I think you're tired. I think you're tired. Yeah. She just wants blankets, Netflix, and Dairy Dunkers, and she's happy.
Oh. Everything else,
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't even buy them for kids, so I won't buy them for anybody else.
But I am going to get off, guys, because it's been like nearly 3 hours, is it? It's 2.5 hours, I suppose, which is a long time. So I am tired and I ache. I am ready for bed. Super noodles, we always have plenty of them in. Everybody loves super noodles.
I like super noodles. I don't mind super noodles.
They like super noodles. Yeah, Kath, exactly that. Exactly that.
You doing Sophie or Spanner?
I have.
I don't even fully realise.
Sophie's a Spanner. Pot noodles are awesome too. Pot noodles are awesome too. Any noodles, just noodles. Barbecue noodles with cheese and bread.
God, she's a weirdo.
That's bizarre.
Where's she from, Sophie?
Yeah, I don't know, love. I'm not. I don't like putting it in chat anyway. I don't like putting it in chat. I don't like that. Oh dear me. I'm vegan. Make it a sandwich, banging. It's so skilled. People have what they eat. I haven't eaten yet today. Of course I should really, but can't be bothered.
Oh, Essex.
Sussex. Cheese and onion and meat. Yeah, that's nice. Fish fingers and salad cream on white bread. Never tried that.
Common as milk, that's it.
Common as muckers. That's what they say about Yorkshire lasses, don't they?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing, though?
I think it's a good thing. That's what they say about Yorkshire lasses. Well, that cat meowing to come
Yeah.
in. It's cat meowing to come in when dogs are trying to eat.
Out front, though.
Oh my God. That cat's gonna proper eat these dogs, I think. I don't think it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be the other way around. It's not even my cat. It's not even my cat. It is, I agree, Shandy. Poor man's tartar sauce. Sounds alright. Sounds alright to me. Anyway, I'm going to say good night, guys. I love you all. Thank you for joining me. Love and light and many blessings. I shall see you again soon.